gonna go and try to find stuff. Hold on, let me turn this down. This is Megalithomania. Mike Parker Pearson talks about the new archaeology of Stonehenge. So, one of my long-term goals after I finish the book I'm writing about the Dendera Zodiac is to do some traveling and be a part of some of these tour groups that go out to places. I think it would have to be some sort of a family thing that we did together because I don't really want to be away from my family that long. Maybe if I flew over there, did a workshop, stayed for a day to chill, and then flew back the next day but I would want to know that I could get back at any time I needed to. But that would be very exciting, let's just say, without all the blah, blah, blah about why and when and how. That is kind of a long-term goal, my idea. I'm going to, of course, film my own lecture. I actually work at an art center that has a beautiful theater, and I'm not really sure what the rates are. I think it's about $500 or $600 an hour for, a front of house, a back of house. Because I only need one back of house, one front of house. I only need one guy to set up a projector and my videos to be on the giant screen and a podium. One back of house, one front of house to let maybe the 50 people that would care to show up. Or there could be a giant rush towards my lecture like no one has ever seen. 500 people, standing room only. She has to move to the other side of the theater to talk about the stars because so many people are so interested. Hey, you gotta think big if you're gonna think at all. I feel, therefore I am. I saw that today. People are trying to, come up with something new on that scope, and, I think, therefore I am. In a way, is a feeling not a thought? I mean, your stomach can hurt, right? And that's a pain. Anyways, I'll contemplate on that some more. So as far as the painting goes right now, I wanted this one. A friend of mine is fixing to scoot through, so I wanted to get in here and do something useful before they come, because then they're going to help me look for stuff. I gotta get my projector, I gotta get my clear sheets, and projector, clear sheets. I already have the constellations printed out. That's no problem. I've got them in a good size too, or I can just bring it up on my screen and blow it out. Put the transfer paper right onto the computer screen and trace whatever you need to trace out at 8 by 10. And then you put that on the projector, and then you can actually move it all around your composition and decide where it looks best. It's really, really a good compositional tool. People have been using light as compositional tools for a very long time. It's suspected that there was even some knowledge of how to make photographs earlier that was lost. And not photographs like we see that, that we develop in the whole, but it would be some kind of just dark, something was exposed. Okay, like a camera obscura that could be made permanent. But that's just a suggestion that I got from Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, the new movie, when she was making the portrait of him, when she was disguised as the lady of another knight. You are no knight, just a boy. All right. So I know 100% that I would like to check one thing real quick. Let's just do some tidying up before we go on to the next stage, which will be putting in the constellations. And to tidy this up, it's like having a punch list on a construction site. These things are the last things you need to do before you go on to the next stage. And my punch list is going to include this floor. I'm not upset with the value of it. I think it's a nice value between this, and this. The values of all these things are really working for me. I'm not excited about this hue. To me, it looks like a baked terracotta tile, and that's not really the look I'm going for. I want it to be more like a flesh travertine or a gray stone. But if it's gray, I don't think it would look good next to the. Let's just try sanding it and see what that does. Bringing the white back up, I kind of like that because this is not very deep. And then I painted over the yellow, so we have to go all the way. I kind of like how it looks like there's light falling now, at least in kind of this area here. Let's just keep going with it. Stand back and see what that looks like. Well, it doesn't really change much of anything, does it? Hmm. Just put some white spots on there. That's not the answer. Do I want it to be more yellow? Would I be happy if it were more yellow like this? No, I like the fact that it looks like a floor. So if I have an orange and I want to bring that town tone down, I would do blue. So let's just get some blue. And see if we put a little bit of blue over this. Now this is just a slosh of blue because I have some blue water. You want to keep your water around until it doesn't smell funny. It'll smell really funny and then you have to throw it away. But you could paint a masterpiece with just, the water that, because it's pigment, it's just you have to clean your brushes. Not all paint gets used. It's kind of always been a sadness of mine. Some of the pigments just go down the drain. So I made some really black coffee. And I had a dinner of um, meatloaf and mac and cheese and mashed potatoes that I got from 7-Eleven. That I was actually supposed to eat last night, but that was the dinner I went and got for myself. I've gotten really bad about keeping groceries in the house, so sometimes, I'll be down to like stuff that nobody wants to eat, like oatmeal and rice and nothing to go with it. I do have survival food, don't get me wrong. But yeah. Okay, I'm really happy with how that is toning down the orangeness of that. It's really making the center orange pop a little bit more too. I think I'll go with another couple of layers of that blue water. This time I added a little bit of uh, green water in to bring down the tone a little bit more even. So I basically got like a really nice bluish gray here. It really is a stone color. think that might be enough for me to keep putting the blue on and make it more gray and less brown. And I won't have to, you know, I don't want the brown to completely go away. In fact, I like what this area right here is looking like, because it's kind of a really nice mixed color of stone. So now let me decide how big the center should be. Well, I don't really have to decide how big it should be, but I do have to find my images. Here is an image of the Dendera Zodiac, but the images are even way too small to even copy. And right now what I'm thinking is I really do want to just copy it as it is, although I could put it, you know, like Tara Wet's really lying down in relation to Cepheus here, but I could have them all standing up, you know, 3 here and 3 here, or let's just see how it goes. Right now, we will here's a pretty good picture. This one, it's not too bad. I'll bring it closer to you so you can see it. Let me see what it looks like from the other side. How close is that? Oh, that's good. So this is what I'm thinking about painting here. We have Tara Wet, the Wolf and the Plow, Cepheus, Horse Maiden, Lyra, Hercules, and then back to Draco. Or Tara Wet. I keep calling her Draco. All right. Tara Wet, Wolf and Plow, Cepheus, Horse Maiden, Lyra, and Raheri, Orion and Horus. So I will, here's a really big picture of Cepheus. In this case, this is the shepherd. That takes up the place of Cepheus. So let me see, what picture will I use to trace them? I think this might end up being, that's a pretty good one. I might end up using that one. These are smaller than that. I think, yeah, that one's bigger than this. Hopefully I printed it a little bit bigger, just right in the center of the page, just that inner circle. We'll see. These are all small, or the constellation chart. I think that's going to be the biggest one. So I think I will go ahead and make blue. It's looking like this composition is going to be blue and orange, which really makes me happy. because the celestial sphere, we always think of the celestial sphere as blue, I guess. With some midnight blue with points of light in it. Alright, but this blue definitely needs to be darker, so on the bottom there. So I will get out some blue paint and a little bit of this dark water. And some black paint. Not too much. Black goes a long way in toning down colors. I'm going to put half of what I just got out of there in. See that tiny bit of black? Let's see what it does. Oops, I just got blue on my floor. I guess that's the cool thing about being at the stage of life I am. And where I'm at. I feel okay with drops on my floor today. Now, to tell the truth, I can't go too far towards that. Oh, that's my tea from this morning. No way. I can't go too far with the, oh, it's just fine how it is. I actually do try to keep my floors clean. But as you can see, just from major, just looking around, I'm kind of campy. It's okay. It's how it is today. All right, that's a nice blue color. Blue stone color. A little bit thicker. Make it a little bit more gray water. Because I don't want it to be too thick. I want it to be somewhat opaque. And look, that's just way too thick. That's never going to work. That's why I'm trying to do a wash. But, yeah. Now, maybe if I do that and then move it around. Ah. Almost like a little bit of a sponge technique there.